Hey, what's up agents, welcome back to another video. So I hope you guys watched the previous video. There were a lot of events mentioned for the 5th anniversary. A lot of rewards are coming in, so if you guys haven't watched it, the link should be coming up right above. And here we go, we have this character vote event. This came in 2 hours back. So which character do you think is in most need of a rework? And Odin, Ghost Rider, Hulkling, Dormammu are among the characters whom we have seen the most improvement requests for. I don't know who are those people who recommended Hulkling there. I'm okay with the rest 3 characters. I don't know about this Hulkling people. And we have this event going on in game. You cannot vote in the forum. You gotta go in the game. And we have 2 rounds, the first round and the second round. The first round should be happening after the first round is happening right now. Okay, it's on till May 5th, I guess, and then after that the second round starts, and on the 13th or 12th, the 12th or 13th, the result will be announced. So we're having this much list of characters that you got to vote for. We have Odin, Baron Mordo, Dormammu, Ancient One, Shuri, Supergiant, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Kate Bishop, Wiccan, Hulkling, Jane Foster, Loki, Moon Knight, and Ghost Rider. That is a really thick list there, and it's going to be quite hard to choose from that. I don't know how much characters we can choose. Should be 1, I guess. It is in game. You guys can go and check it out. In the inbox there will be a separate link. You guys can go and check it. Here's your moment, guys. Go choose the best one. I don't know. I would be wanting a rework of most of these characters. So I don't know, I want Odin, Dormammu, Daredevil really badly, and then of course Loki, my man, Loki and Moon Knight. Ghost Rider, all hands down, Ghost Rider, he needs a huge rework. That is another character that I'm looking forward to. So let's get into today's video without making you guys wait. Tier 3 selector, we're getting it after today's reset, and this is just my list based on my ideas. So this list is just about how I know about these characters in this game, so it may or may not be the right one, but I just hope some of you guys get an idea about the characters that have been listed for the tier 3 selector. Now another doubt is about Black Widow here. They released again the event notice, and they haven't mentioned Black Widow tier 3 again. Now why I want her to be in that list is because she is a base character, she's a free to play character, requires base materials to tier 3, and yeah, one of the original characters just like Captain America and Iron Man. So we all expected her to be in the tier 3 list, and that's why everybody is waiting. I have made up all the way here to 70, but I stopped over there, expecting her to be available in the tier 3. I will be ranking her also, because what if she comes? I just hope they add her also. Now going for the 10th or for the last position, Black Panther. Now, well, if you guys have tier 3 to all the other characters, then you don't need to put the tier 3 into waste. Just use it on him. I mean, he is not a good character even at tier 3. The damage is so damn low. We cannot take him for any gameplay, not even in World Boss Ultimates, none of the PvP content. Shadowlands may be the lower stages, maybe up to 40 or something, and then PvP, no way he's gonna survive in that. That's his tier 3 skill, ignoring dodge rate, no defense, nothing much. We don't have an all defense down or anything on these skills, and I hope an upgrade should be coming up during the Black Panther 2 movie, which will be taking a long time, and I don't know if we will be getting anything in between, but this would be my last choice for the tier 3 selector. I'm going for the second last position, or the 9th position, would be Ant-Man. Apart from PvP, which also you need a huge build on him to take him to PvP. He has a guaranteed dodge and everything. He is really good for PvP. Even at tier 3 also he helps in getting some easy wins at times. And that is his tier 3 ignoring dodge rate, and we have a penetration of super armor and everything, invincible for 10 seconds. He is a character who has a lot of dodge. So the uniforms, the latest one is the end game one. If you have the end game one, he does a really good job on that. And with the revamp of the world boss strikers and everything, we cannot now take him to the higher stages of world boss ultimates, and he can do the lower stages. That's all he can do, and that will be my second last choice for the tier 3 selector. And man, Spider-Man, I'm giving him the 8th position. He is good for PvP. Sometimes he is really good for PvP. Tier 3 also helps him a bit. This is his tier 3 skill, and we have a 15% decrease of all defenses, and it ignores immunity too. It works for world boss ultimates, but the issue is the damage is pretty low on Spider-Man. The Far From Home uniform is a really good option for him. If you guys have not tier 3'd him and have the rest of them at tier 3, you can go for Spider-Man. He's a really good character to play with, really good for PvP, Shadowlands, and that's pretty much it. In PvP, Timeline Battle is the only one, and Alliance Conquest, he does really good job in that with the web, webbing them up and making them stuck over there. So he would be my 8th choice for the selector. Now I have Iron Man here at 7th position. If you have a really good build on him, he can really do the world boss ultimate stages. But with the changes in the ultimates now, world boss ultimates, you can do the lower stages now, and the damage is good, but he needs a little more spike somewhere. The tier 3 is good also. He needs that spike somewhere, guys, but I would put him over there at 7th position after the ones on the top, after you tier 3 the ones on the top. Okay, and I love him a lot. I love Iron Man a lot. The character is really great, but in the game he is not the way we expect him to be, so we need some more work done on him. So I put Cyclops here on the 6th position. Now he is a really good character with tier 3. His DPS is so massive, the damage is really good. The tier 3 also does a lot of damage. If you guys have checked him out at at Danger Room, you guys must have had that slight bit of idea about how much damage he applies to. And that's his tier 3 skill, guaranteed crit rate. There's a 35% increase of the crit rate, and the penetration, increasing the damage by 90% for one attack, and it stays on for 5 seconds. So that's how the damage is so massive on the tier 3 skill. Invincibility for 6 seconds, and a really good character. If you don't have a blast villain for the ABX day, this would be a really good option to tier 3. He also does pretty good in the world boss ultimate stages also. He also has the self leadership and also that little bit of FX he gets from the tier 2. Also really good character to play with, and the rotation is also really simple. A really good character for the new players. So I will rank him up at the 6th position. PvE and squad battle and ABX blast villain day, he can do all that. And for the 5th position, we have Thor, Odin's son. Now Thor, I only have the Infinity War uniform, but the endgame uniform is the one you need if you are tier 3 Thor. He is a really good tier 3 and has a lot of good damage. Not the Sharon level of damage I'm talking about, but he is a good character with the tier 3. The endgame uniform gives him a lot of ability to withstand a little more during the battles. If you need a character for ABX Universal Day, this is the good guy because his AoE is large. He affects a lot of area. He's really good for squad battle also, gets you easy over the mark of points that you need. Not a bad character to tier 3 also, because I like him, and his gameplay is also really cool. That is the amount of damage you get from the tier 3 skill. You have the lightning resistance, stacks up to 45% and increase and ignores immunity. Couple him up with the leadership of Lincoln Campbell and you can see how much damage he does. Okay, so he's on the number 5th position. Now for the 4th position I have put in Winter Soldier here. I have him at tier 3. I've had a hell lot of good time playing with him. If you guys haven't checked out the video of me clearing covers with him, it was a really tight one. Took a lot of time, but I did manage to finish it off with him. And what an awesome tier 3 it was. I mean, I instantly tier 3'd Winter Soldier because I really liked it. I know many of you disagree, but with a really good build and a really good CTP, his damage is really good. I really loved playing with him after tier 3ing him, so that's why I have put him at the 4th position. You can take him to PvP action. He's really good for that. He's really good for World Boss Ultimate stages, and this is what I was talking about. Applying to the enemies minus 10% decrease of all defense, stacks up to 60% minus 60%, ignores immunity. Really good tier 3 it is, increasing the damage 40% for one attack. When you apply the tier 3 itself, you guys can see the spike in the damage. So for you guys who love him, you can go ahead and tier 3 him using the selector. So that's why he's on position number 4. And then going to the 3rd position, or should I split the 3rd position into 2, because I put the 3rd position and splitting into 2 because if they are adding Black Widow to the list, I would recommend doing her, because the new uniform has really made her really sick with the damage and the survivability wise also, and the tier 3 skill stats are also superb. We're having that all defense and accumulation of their damage, ignoring dodge rate. It's so good. They have really worked really well on it, and also the silence. This is going to be really good, and she's going to be a really good character for ABX too. So that's why I have put her in the 3rd position if she is available through the tier 3 list. I would be right away making her tier 3. I already have the new uniform and I made her all the way to 70 and I stopped over there because I'm just hoping they add her to the list, or I'll be doing the manual way of tier 3ing her. I just need the gears to be built, a couple of gears to be built up, and a really good CDP to be equipped to her, and then we'll be rolling on with Black Widow. I just watched a lot of footage of her defeating the World Boss Ultimate stages. A pretty good stages also she can finish off with the tier 2 level. Now Captain Marvel. Now this is a character that I have been wanting to tier 3 for a long time, but you know, the updates just keep on coming on every month and the new tier 3s. You keep some of your characters reserved over there to make them tier 3 later. So such a character that is for me Captain Marvel. I have built her all the way to 17, but the gears are just not fully built. But she is a really dope character to be tier 3'd. Why do I say this now? She is really good for PvE as well as PvP. She hits so hard in PvP, you can get easy wins in the timeline battles with her. And PvE also, she does a lot of huge damage. The DPS is too high on her, and if you have the rage, you don't need to look into anything. This is what I'm talking about, the tier 2 pass, increasing all the buff effects by 20%, and which works really well in the timeline battle. I'm talking about this skill too. That enables attacking enemies who have activated the ignore targeting effect. She just pierces through all that and applies damage to those guys. That's why whenever you are in timeline battle against a Captain Marvel, you get hit just like that and get defeated. Talking about the tier 3 skill, this is the tier 3 skill, minus 50% of ignore defense, and to the enemies you have a fracture, silence, fear and stun. which also makes her a really good character for ABX Universal Day. This is why I really need to make her a tier 3, because I don't have a universal tier 3 at the moment, and my option was Captain Marvel for this tier 3 selector, but with Black Widow also as a new entry, I don't know, it's a contest between both of them now. So this is my option actually for the tier 3 selector, because I really need a good universal character. And that's all about position number 3, Captain Marvel over there. For the second position I have is Captain America. Now why did I put Captain America all the way to the second position? Now Captain America, ABX Combat Day as well as ABX Blast Villain Day. You get a character for playing 2 ABX days. If you have the Hydra Supreme uniform, your Captain America becomes a villain. It's a really superb uniform, giving a lot of damage. With that, a good build Captain America can get you a decent score. I don't have a really good CDP for him. I had to exchange it for another character, so once I get the CDP for the perfect CDP for him, I will be doing a little more damage. Even now at this level of my Captain America, he does pretty good damage in the ABX days. I get a lot of good points from him, and he's also a really superb character for the World Boss Ultimate. He does really good high stages of Proxima. Now with the changes in the World Boss Ultimates, he cannot be a striker. The usage of him being a striker has been cut off now, and he was a really superb striker. That combination of him and Weapon X was so dope. Tackling the higher stages was like, it was like cracking something. And that's why I put him on the second position. He's an all-round character. You can take him to different game modes. Now, if you're looking for a character who can go to the higher stages of Corvus or Proxima, this is your guy. Not with this uniform, with the endgame uniform. Make him back to combat and just supercharge his tier 3 skill, and you're getting a lot of hits from it. This is his tier 3 skill. Now Captain America was one of the first tier 3 characters in the game during the Infinity War update, and that is his tier 3 skill, 50% increase of all the attacks, and that accumulating 150% of the true damage. That's a lot of stats on a tier 3 skill that you will be seeing in the game. Really superb tier 3 skill. 80% chance to penetrate with super armor. What makes you stopping from using the tier 3 selector for this guy, guys? So that's why I have him on the second position. And first position, I don't like to call it as a first position, because you're getting a tier 3 selector and you don't have this character at tier 3. You have no other option. This is the only option you guys have to go with. With the new Star Knight armor uniform, he's like a god in the game. Now, keeping away PvP content, the rest of the game modes, you get to take him to Giant Boss raids, World Boss Ultimates. The damage output is so massive, it just blows the game away. That's what she is. Being an original character of the Marvel Future Fight, they have made her massively powerful, and with the current World Boss Ultimate changes also, this is the only character that can take you to the higher stages. And I'm not talking about all the World Boss Ultimates, but there are limitations now. But still, this is I don't know what to say about this character, but you gotta tier 3 her and experience it yourself. I've had a lot of experience with this during the old striker changes. I had her finishing off 99 Cull. That was the first 99 Cull I did with this character. And what's surprising is I don't have a CDP for her. With an obelisk of guard break immunity, increasing the damage, the proc was 200%, I know, but even with an obelisk, she is so top in the game. So you guys know what kind of potential this character is having. So that's the first position I'm giving on to Captain America Sharon Rogers, and I just hope they really add Black Widow to this. And yeah, everybody is waiting for that. We'll just wait for the reset. So this is pretty much my list for the tier 3 character selection. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please do subscribe to more content, and we'll be seeing you guys again in another video. We'll be testing out more characters from the update that we received. I'm just still building up on Red Guardian there, and the new PvP god Yelena. Now that should be another character that I should be looking forward to recruiting and ranking up also. So yeah, we're getting a mega tier 2 every month now, so yeah, it's almost time that we test some of the premium characters. So see you guys in the next video. Take care, stay home, stay safe. Goodbye.